Hey, you guys. So I'm back with another message that had dropped into my spirit. Um, and I was just sitting here thinking, just like, about the stuff that's starting to transpire and how so much people are operating in the spirit of pride and in the spirit of being power driven. And I had wrote God had told me power driven the other day, so maybe I can tie these two messages all together. But I'm just seeing how so much people are so prideful, and they're so prideful and power driven by being a type of person who um wants to be known as far as um having power and authority and being in high places and not being humble, not serving reverence to God, not giving honor to God when giving honor to God when it is due. And I was just sitting here thinking and talking to God, and I'm just seeing how people are just so prideful, how they're so boastful, how they're not even recognizing God, or like I said, being thankful to God for where they are. They're just so prideful about where they are and how they got there. And you have to be humble in this season. You have to really be humble. And God is doing a lot of humbling in this season. We can't expect for God to do things for us and to work on our behalf and allow us to achieve certain things if we're so prideful. Like I said, the spirit, I just been seeing like a lot of spirit of pride. I've been seeing the spirit of people just being power driven. And it really is disgusting when you look at it from a Christian standpoint, and from spiritual eyes. It can be very, very disgusting, and you have to remain humble. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people, God humbling a lot of people, and they're not getting the results that they want because they don't remain humble, because they let their pride and their ego and their success get in the way, not knowing, or not giving thanks to God and paying reverence to God, that if it wasn't for God, they wouldn't be in that position or predicament in the first place. And God is humbling a lot of people because God will let you go by and get so far, but when you don't change, He has His way of humbling you. And we have to stay humble in this season, in this hour. Like I said, it's really disgusting for a child of God to see that, and from spiritual eyes, especially when God has allowed you to get to a place in your life where you can be a blessing to someone else, where you can be a kingdom gatekeeper, where you can be a kingdom worker, and instead of you pulling people up to your level, you kick them back down because you don't want them to get to your level, out of pride, out of ego, out of jealousy, out of envy. And God is in this season, He is going to really have His way of humbling a lot of people. Um, and I'm starting to see it a little bit, how God is going to really humble people, or He's humbling a lot of people um, because of how they are, because of how they are not giving honor to Him. Idolatry, starting to idolize the success, idolize the titles, idolize the degrees, idolize the certificates, the certifications, where God has allowed them and graced them to get these type of things so it can be the upbuilding for His kingdom, for it to be used to help someone else, all for it to be used in a way for um to them to pretty much, whenever I was thinking about this, God dropped in my spirit, it's a way for them to lay their pockets. But it's not a way for them to, they're using it for a way to lay their pockets, but they're not using it, their gifts and their anointings and whatever God has blessed them with in this hour, as a way to be a blessing to someone else, as a way to be a servant. We should always be a servant. When God give us the opportunity to bless someone, when God give us the opportunity to help someone, it's a blessing to be a blessing. That's why we're here on this earth. But we have so many people that, like I said, that are so power driven, that are pride, ego, they are selfish because they're in high places, and um it's all about them. It's all about the glitz and glams. It's all about them trying to make themselves known or try to prove themselves to other people. You don't have to prove yourself to nobody. The only person that you're supposed to be worrying about is God. How God looks at you, how God perceives you. Because when we come to that day of judgment, He's going to judge us, and we want to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And a lot of these people are not operating in the spirit of being a servant. They're not humble. They're not grateful for where God is taking them, or where God has brought them out of, and where He's took them through into. And then we also see where these same people who are not humble, how they hate on someone else that are humble, how they hate on other peoples and try to make them feel bad because they pay reverence to God, where they put God first, and they're openly giving a knowledge and thanks to God for allowing them to get to the place to where they got them to. And now you want to sit here with your prideful self, you want to sit here with your power, ego driven self, and put your mouth on another child of God. Y'all, God, in this season, y'all, we're going to see a lot of people be humbled. A lot of people are going to be humbled in this season, in this hour. Like I said, it disgusts me because we are children of God. We supposed to, if God has assigned anything to your life, it's not for you, it's for you to serve others in some way, some form, some shape, some fashion. But if you use what God has blessed you with to mishandle one of God's children, if you use what God has blessed you with to tear someone down and not to pick them up and it cause them to be stagnant and delayed when you had an opportunity to help them, y'all, we're really going to see a lot of people in this season, in this hour, be humbled in high places. Because there's no way you can call yourself to be a child of God when you're secretly or in the demonic places tearing people down, or even doing it. Some of them are doing it openly, tearing each other down, or they're doing it passively aggressive. I know I had released a video where God told me a lot of people are using the spirit of they're using charisma, but there is a thing that is called charismatic witchcraft, and they're using that to get to where they are, and they're calling themselves still a child of God. God is saying, God will humble them in this season, in this hour. God will deal with them in this season, in this hour. He will humble them. So y'all, be humble. Even when you see these people, be humble. Still stay humble, okay? Because we want to show them as real children, as real men and women of God, that this is how we supposed to be. We supposed to walk into the spirit of humility. We supposed to stay humble, okay? But God is about to humble a lot of people in this season, in this hour, due to the things that I have mentioned about what God has revealing to me in the spirit and showing me in the spirit. And like I said, it can be disgusting. It can be disheartening, because it's like you have this opportunity to be a blessing. Why are you using this opportunity to glorify yourself instead of being a blessing? So just pray for these people. A lot of y'all, some of these people have actually hurt you guys in y'all process of growing, and on your journey. You're going to see these people be humbled. You're going to see these people be humbled. Okay. Do not rejoice. Pray for them, because it will be rough, because God gives us grace, but God has a way of humbling us too. All right. So I love you guys. I pray that you all have an amazing day, and I will chat with you all later.